Every day, millions of people over 50 lace up their shoes and do exactly what they were told is healthy. They walk. They walk faithfully, sometimes 30 minutes or more. And yet, many of them are getting worse, not better. Knees ache than never used to. Lower backs tighten. Energy crashes an hour later. Instead of feeling younger, they feel older, and they quietly wonder if walking is even helping anymore. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Walking is not automatically good for you. The way you walk, when you walk, how hard you walk, and what you do afterward determines whether walking becomes medicine or a slow-motion injury. After 50, the rules change. Muscle mass quietly shrinks every year unless you fight to keep it. Those muscles are not just for strength. They stabilize your joints, protect your spine, regulate blood sugar, and keep you balanced. Lose enough of them, and each step costs more than it used to. Cartilage also changes. It has no blood supply. It survives by being gently compressed and released. Walk well, and cartilage is nourished. Walk poorly, and it wears unevenly. At the same time, metabolism slows and circulation declines, meaning the same habits that worked at 30 now produce stiffness, weight gain, and fatigue. Walking still activates muscle, joints, metabolism, and circulation all at once, but only if the mechanics are right. Most people make the same quiet mistakes. First, they start too fast. Cold muscles, dry joints, and an unprepared heart are suddenly asked for full effort. Over time, that creates knee pain and tight calves. Second, they walk with the head forward. Your head weighs about 11 pounds. Tip it forward a couple of inches and your neck carries the load of a small child for half an hour. Third, the arms barely move. That breaks the natural cross-crawl pattern your nervous system relies on, increasing spinal strain and cutting walking's benefit. Fourth, the shoes are old. Cushioning dies long before shoes look worn, and aging feet absorb less shock. That impact travels straight up to the knees and back. Fixing these doesn't require perfection. Start slower for 5 minutes. Keep eyes on the horizon and chin gently tucked. Let the arms swing naturally from the shoulders. Replace shoes when they feel flat, not when they look ugly. Now comes the part almost nobody hears. Timing matters. Walking before breakfast tops a powerful mechanism. Morning muscle contraction pulls sugar out of the blood without needing much insulin, improving energy and fat use for the rest of the day. After meals, even a 2 to 5 minute stroll can blunt blood sugar spikes better than a long walk later, and several short walks spread across the day send stronger metabolic signals than one long session. Intensity matters too. The sweet spot is zone 2, where you can speak in full sentences without gasping. Go harder and stress hormones rise, fat burning drops, and joints take a beating. Stay mostly in that conversational pace. Once or twice a week, add brief, faster intervals, then recover. That builds fitness without constant strain. Walking also reshapes the brain. Rhythmic movement and proper arm swing reinforce balance circuits, reduce fall risk, and calm the nervous system. Regular walking has even been shown to support memory centers in the brain. This isn't just exercise, it's neurological maintenance. Finally, don't skip the last step, recovery. Walk a few minutes slower at the end, drink water, stretch calves, hamstrings, and the lower back for 5 minutes, and take 1 or 2 easier days each week. Your body adapts during recovery, not during effort. The takeaway is simple. Walking works after 50, but only when it matches the body you have now. Start with one fix this week, add another next week. Consistency beats intensity. Walking, done properly, remains one of the most powerful habits you can build. This information is for educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice.